So this year, iPhone potential buyers were in for a treat. Not only did we get one, but we got two different variations of the iPhone 6, the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. And if, like me, you're a little confused at the moment, then hopefully this video should make it easier for you to decide. So let's start off talking about the physical appearance of the two devices. Apple told us that they are going to be both bigger than the current generation 4-inch screens with the 5 and the 5S. The iPhone 6 comes in at 4.7 inches. It's got a 326 ppi with that 1334 by 750 pixel ratio, and it's on par with really the 5S in terms of the screen. The screen does taper over, so that's slightly different from the 5 and 5S, which makes it easier essentially to get to the edges. Now the iPhone 6 Plus has the advantage of being 5.5 inches in terms of screen real estate. That gives you a full HD display at 1920 by 1080 pixels. It's giving you 401 ppi. Now if you compare it to some of the other smartphones on the market, the high-end smartphones on the market, that full HD display isn't anything new. Now let's talk about the size and handling, and this is probably where the major difference is, in my opinion. We have the iPhone 6 at a 6.9 millimeter in terms of thickness, and the iPhone 6 also has a comfortable one-handed use based on the initial feedback that we've had from bloggers who've managed to handle the devices. The iPhone 6 Plus, however, has 7.1 millimeter in terms of thickness, so a little bit thicker than the iPhone 6. It's got potentially a two-handed use, so it means that Apple has tweaked the iOS. You're able to kind of use one-handed use of the iPhone 6 Plus, but if we're being honest, it's really a two-handed device, which may be a make or break for many users. And that's something that has made me wonder and kind of question whether or not the 6 Plus is just that tad too large for me. Now let's talk about power. Both of these are powered by the A8 chip, the M8 co-processor, and they come in variations of 16, 64, and 128 gigabytes. There's been no mention of RAM. Apple doesn't usually like getting into that, but in observation of handling the device and other bloggers' experience with the UI, it seems to be quite smooth, what you would expect from a high-end device. Now, the camera is another area where Apple have made a distinction between the two. Both have an 8 megapixel back camera. They both record full HD video. They record slow-mo at a whopping 240 frames per second, which is quite exciting to use and test out. They both have a 1.2 megapixel in terms of front-facing camera, which record up to 720p HD. Now that's one of the areas where unfortunately both of the cameras fall down in, and it would have been nice for Apple to upgrade the front-facing cameras, but that's something that they've decided not to do, and we'll have to wait for the final verdict on that. Now, the difference between the two of them is in digital image stabilization with the iPhone 6, which is more of a software aspect of stabilization, and the iPhone 6 Plus has the optical image stabilization as a feature, which means that actually out of the two of them, the image quality on the 6 Plus should be better than the 6. And again, if you are a high-end user of photography and you want to use your iPhone for that purpose, then that might be something to worth consider. Now finally, we're going to talk about pricing. This is an area where there's a major difference, and I think it's going to be an overriding factor along with the actual physical dimensions of this device for people to decide on. So the iPhone 6 comes in 16 gigabyte variations. You can see on the screen, I've listed the dollar price and the UAE price. Most people will get either a 16 or a 64 gigabyte now. It's a shame that Apple haven't just completely removed the 16 and just included a 32 as a base model. But there is a difference of about 500 dirhams if you're here in the UAE between a 16 and 64 gigabyte. If you look at the iPhone 6 Plus, however, there is quite a major difference between a 16 and 128 and just a 16 and 64 gigabyte variation. A big difference, and I think for me personally, that's one of the factors, the storage space and the price aspect, that is making me wonder and really compare the two. Well guys, I hope this has helped you in some way decide on the main differences. Obviously there's nothing like hands-on experience, and we will be bringing you those videos. But if you're thinking about pre-ordering tomorrow or waiting, if you're here in the UAE, for it to come out off the grey market, then that might be a useful video for you to kind of consider. Anyway, leave your comments down below. Let me know which of the two devices you are drawn towards and in what variation. And please do share this with anybody else that's thinking about the same issue. Until next time, I'm Kwan. Peace and blessings.